positive attitude. So when I say the word attitude, it reminds me of the recent problem which happened very recently in our Indian IT sector, Satyams. So here ethics, which plays a very important role, has a strong bond between the word called attitude. A man said, "It took 40 years for me to change my neighbors, but I failed. It took 10 years for me to change my family, but I failed. Then it took another 4 years for me to identify that first all I need to do is change myself. But it was too late." My dear friends, attitude plays a very vital role when it comes to the matter of personality development. Your relationship with others, your success, anything, the word attitude plays a very important role. There is a famous proverb which says, if the whole world or if your path is full of thorns, it is advisable to wear a thick shoe rather than cleaning of the thorns. This is what attitude is all about. Attitude is all about how you think of how to solve this issue which comes in your life. As I said, if there is thorn in front of you, it is advisable to wear thick shoes rather than cleaning the thorns one by one. So attitude is of that sense. If you want the whole world to be red in color, the attitude says it is advisable to wear a red glass rather than painting the entire globe in red paint. This is what attitude is all about. Attitude decides your altitude. So if you really want to succeed in your life, it is essential, it is compulsory, and it is a must. You have a positive attitude. So whenever I speak on attitude, it is obvious that I am speaking about positive attitude. Many of your friends would say that you have an attitude. What does that mean? So remember, the way you speak with your colleagues, your friends, your parents, your relatives, or anybody, remember the word attitude plays again a very important role. I'm stressing on the same sentence because this is the decider of your life. You may be very intelligent, you may be very smart, but if you don't have a proper attitude, everything goes in vain. You will not have anybody to be with you. You will not have your friends who will rely on you. So attitude again plays a very important role in your career building, in your life. That's it. So before we get into deep of what attitude is all about, let me try to quote few of the examples which has connection with the word called attitude. A ladder. Let us take, there is a famous proverb which says, you cannot climb a ladder by keeping your hands in your pockets. I repeat, you cannot climb a ladder by keeping your hands inside the pocket. So what does that mean with the word attitude? So my dear friends, it is very obvious that if you want to reach up in your life, it is very important that you struggle. Without the word struggle, you cannot achieve something which nobody has achieved. So remember, the proverb says that you cannot climb a ladder with your hands in your pockets. So it is not an easy going task of climbing of ladder. So if you want to become very successful in your life, if you want to reach higher and higher, you need to struggle. It cannot be an easy cup of tea. Ship is safe at the port, but it is not the purpose which it is made for. I repeat, ship is safe at the port, but it is not the purpose for which the ship is made. So are you able to gather what am I trying to say? The proverb says that ship is very safe at the port, but it also again says that it is not the purpose for which it is made. So in life, risk is very important, where here comes the word attitude. So you need to have a calculative risk in your life, and this calculative risk can be prejudged with your attitude, your capability. So this two proverbs explains how important the word attitude plays in your life. Let me start explaining about attitude with a small story. So let me start with a small story. There was a gigantic, huge, 6 feet tall with a beautiful body, a man but an uneducated man goes to a woodcutter owner. There was a shop wherein he used to sell woods. The gigantic man goes to the owner and says, "Sir, I may not be educated like any other people, but my physics is so extraordinary that I can cut maximum trees for you." Seeing the physique of the man, the owner got very much impressed. The person asked, "Sir, can you lend me a job?" The owner was very much impressed and he told, "Yeah, I will do that." The owner gave him a brand new axe. I repeat, the owner gave him a brand new axe and asked him to go to the west side of the forest and cut trees for him. The gigantic man was very much happy and he goes happily on the west side of the forest for cutting the trees. At the end of the day, you won't believe the gigantic man had cut 8 trees. The owner was surprised and astonished because nobody had ever cut 8 trees in a day. He was very much happy with the new employee and he tapped on his shoulder saying, "It is a really great job, great going, my dear friend." The gigantic man was so happy. The next day when he came, the owner asked him to go to the east side of the forest. End of the day, only 6 trees were cut by the gigantic man. Next day, again he went to the other side of the forest, only 4 trees. Next day, only 2 trees. The owner was very much confused why there was a decline in the cutting of trees. So he decided on the 5th day to follow up the gigantic man to find out what is the problem for the decrease in the number of trees. When he went over there, the gigantic man was struggling to cut even a single tree. His body was full of sweat. His clothes were sticking up to the sweat. The owner asked the gigantic man, "What happened, my dear son? Are you not working hard?" The gigantic man was so frustrated, told to the owner, "Sir, can't you see the amount of energy which is being exhausted? Can't you see the sweat which I am getting? I believe that I have never worked so hard in my career than today," narrated the gigantic man. "But I don't know what is happening. I'm not able to cut a single tree today." The shopkeeper, the owner said, "My dear friend, at this juncture, it is not the hard work which is important, but the smart work it is important." He took the axe and told him to sharpen the axe. He said, "If you would have spent 10 to 15 minutes a day in sharpening your axe, you would have been cutting the same 8 trees which you did in the first day." So my dear friends, this is how your attitude should be. This is your smartness. Your attitude defines your smartness. Your attitude defines your character. Your attitude defines your intelligence. So he said, it is not the hard work which is important, it is the smart work which is important here. If that gigantic man would have spent 15 minutes a day in sharpening the axe, he would be cutting 8 trees a day as he did in the first day. So this is what attitude is all about. It is how you take things into your mind and how you look at things and how you react to those things. So this is where the word attitude stands. So if the gigantic man would have used a proper attitude towards sharpening of the axe, he would have been successful as he was in the day one. So this was a small story to narrate of how you should have your attitude towards success. So what are the factors do you think would influence an attitude? So I would say the first factor would be your family, your friends, your environment. The way you grow decides your character, decides your attitude. The political environment, the peers, the parents, the brothers, sisters, the environment, the classroom, the place where you grow day by day decides your attitude. These are the few factors which influence attitude. So what do you think should be the steps which are needed to develop an attitude? So what are the steps do you think are needed to develop a positive attitude? Regular meditation, commitment over your work. Never say tomorrow. Try to complete your work today itself. There is a proverb in Hindi which says, "Kal kare so aaj kar, aaj kare so ab," which says, never ever postpone your work. Do it right now. Moving out with civilized, educated and positive minded people. Remember, it is very essential that you have a very good friendship with very good people. Pessimists will spoil your attitude. So it is highly advisable to move out with people who are like-minded, who are broad-minded, who are open-minded, who are positive in nature. Your family, media plays a vital role when it comes to the word attitude. So proper use of media will decide your positive attitude. So these are the few points which has to be inculcated inside you if you really want to have a positive attitude. Attitude says your mind is like a parachute. Your mind is like a parachute which works only when it is open. It's as simple as that. Your mind is like a parachute. It works only when it is open. A book cannot be judged with its vapor. A book cannot be judged with its vapor. God provides food for the bird but doesn't throw it at the nest. I repeat, God provides food for the bird but it doesn't throw it on the nest. So this is how attitude should be developed. So let me give you a best example of the word attitude relating to character, attitude relating to hard work, attitude relating to determination, attitude relating to positive, attitude relating to character, attitude relating to success, because the word attitude will decide your altitude. The word attitude will decide your future. So let me narrate you a real-time story of a woman who has created a history, and when I think of the word attitude, she comes to my mind first. There was a little girl in United States. The doctor said to her mother, "Madam, please steal your heart. Your daughter has met up with a rare variety of polio. She cannot walk anymore." Her mother was shocked with the news. Beyond her n number of pleading to the doctors, nothing helped her. The doctor said, only prayers or miracles can save her. The mother loved her daughter very much. The mother went to the doctor and said, "Would you like to walk?" The daughter said, "Mom, the doctor said I cannot walk." Replied the daughter. The mother said, "You can walk." Something in the eyes of the mother impressed the daughter very much. The daughter said, "Yes, Mom, I would like to walk." The mother replied, "But remember, you need to have a tremendous effort to achieve this goal. She said, the daughter said, I'm ready to do anything for that, mom. The mom prepared a rigorous training exercise schedule of around 8 to 10 hours a day for her daughter by consulting with the top class physiotherapist. The daughter used to exercise 8 to 10 hours a day. There were days when she used to bite her teeth, not able to bear the pain. There were days when there were tears from her eyes because the pain was so horrible when she used to repeatedly exercise. Her mother said, there may be no change or there may be a gradual change. You need to have a good attitude towards your goal if you really want to achieve it. You won't believe, my dear friends, it took 6 months for the daughter to stand up. It took another 6 months for a daughter to stand up without any support. It took another 6 months for a daughter to put her first step forward. Another 6 months for the daughter to put next step forward. My dear friends, it took 4 to 5 years for the young girl to walk slowly. That day she remained that the doctor said I cannot walk, but she was walking. One day there was a local race in the locality. The daughter went and asked her mom, Mom, can I participate in this race? The mom said, yes, you can. But remember one thing, my dear child, you are not like an ordinary child. Please don't get disappointed because all will run fast and you will not be able to win. The girl said, I don't mind. The girl participated in the race. The girl participated in the race. She came last. She participated again. She came last. She participated again. She came last. But there was a day when she didn't come last. She came second last. She kept on losing, but she didn't stop running. She kept on losing, but she didn't stop running. She ran and ran and ran and ran, and one fine day, my dear friends, she came first. Everybody astonished. A polio affected girl coming first in a race. Media everywhere, live coverage. And a athlete coach took the next flight to US and rushed up to the girl and said, Madam, there is something in you. I don't know what is it, but there is something. Would you like to become an international athlete? The girl was very much happy and she nodded her head. The coach said, Ma'am, it is not so easy. You need to bear a rigorous pain to achieve this goal. She went for national races and her name was recorded in the Olympics list of United States, and rest is a history. She was a winner in the Olympics. Her name is Wilma Rudolph. Wilma Rudolph is a preeminent athlete in the histories produced. She says in an interview, the doctor said I cannot walk, but my mother said I can walk. The doctor said I cannot walk, but my mother said I can walk. Thank God I believed my mother. So my dear friends, this is a story of what attitude is all about. She had an attitude that she will walk. She had an attitude that she will run. She had an attitude that she will win. And this attitude has given us a history. So my dear friends, anything and everything, you want to become anything in this world, a proper attitude with a proper goal can take you anywhere in this world. Remember, if you have a positive attitude, you can achieve anything. Therefore, as I said in the beginning, attitude defines your character, attitude defines your determination, attitude defines your future, attitude defines your success. So it is very important that you have an ego-free attitude, you have a less head weight, because these are the two factors which are very, very essential if you really want to have a positive attitude. There, I personally feel that today's scenario, we are not bothered about anybody's success, but we are very, very happy about anybody's failure. Just try to understand this proverb. Today, we are not bothered about anybody's success, but we are very, very concerned and happy about anybody or somebody's failure. Ego free. Why? There is a proverb which says, not a proverb, I would say a phrase, I am great. I am only great. There is a lot of difference. I am best. I am only best. If you really want to have a good attitude or a good character, take the former one. I am good. I am great. It is not that you are only great. You may be a good mathematician. You may be a good public speaker, but you are not the only public speaker available in this world. This is what attitude is all about. When you say, I am great, you have a good attitude. When you say, I am only great, you have over attitude, and that over attitude will be a key success for your downfall. Please remember one thing. Do not compare yourself, or do not say, he has got this, I need to get better than this. Try to always improve yourself. Do not be jealous of anybody. Do not be jealous. Look into your way. Hit a 6 in your way. Do not ever compare yourself with others, or do not be jealous of anybody. You need to understand one thing, my dear friends. This ego nature or a jealous nature or a head weight can sometimes be very, very essential part for your downfall. As I repeat again, a very important thing, I am great is what attitude says. I am only great is what overconfidence says. So always be humble enough, achieve your goals, have a good attitude. Please don't be ego about anybody. Let him do anything. You be concentrated on your goal. Just think over it. Success is yours. I wish you all the very best. Positive attitude always wins. Wish you all the very best. Thank you.